Gang, bro. Just got off of work, heading back to the house. Chelsea win today 2-1. Arsenal win the Premier League. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans on Twitter, Instagram be very, very upset that Arsenal won the Premier League. And like I can understand that sentiment, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not happy they won the Premier League, bro. I don't think any Chelsea fan really is, right? But this is my thing about it, and this is why I don't think next season they're gonna win it. I don't think a lot of the teams that were as bad this season are gonna be as bad next season. That's one. Two, Manchester City, um, you know, when you win four straight, at some point your domination does on it, and you saw the aftermath of what happens when you spend luxuriously and you splash the cash and you don't get any results out of it. And like speaking from a Chelsea perspective, right? When you've spent over £1 billion and you haven't been able to really justify that spending, I mean, you got to spend smartly, not spend luxuriously. And that's where Arsenal, in my opinion, have the edge over a lot of teams. Mikel Arteta identified players he could use in his setup, and this is why Arsenal are champions of the Premier League. You don't pick up red cards all season, you don't concede penalties, and you have to have a little bit of luck go your way in order for in order to win a Premier League title. I mean, even when Man City was winning four straight Premier Leagues, there was luck along the way. Obviously, right? I mean, you need luck to win a championship, and you can take that into any sport, basketball, you can take it into the NFL. You can take it into Major League Baseball, hockey. It doesn't really matter. Luck, you have to have some sort of luck go your way when you win any championship. And I'm not going to sit here and be salty that Arsenal won the Premier League. I mean, if we're being completely honest, they actually deserve to be champions this season. You can make the case that a few other seasons that they fell just short because they capitulated at the end of the season. And if the result against West Ham goes a bit differently, we may be having a different conversation about Championship Sunday. And Sunday now is going to be a relegation Sunday where Tottenham are going to have to sit here and try to win a game against Everton, and West Ham have to beat Leeds. Now, if you're going to put your money on a team to win a game, I don't think you're going to bet because you don't know which team is going to actually show up. Spurs at home and West Ham have a desperate crowd that just wants to stay in the Premier League because I don't think they're really trying to play a Millwall, are they? I don't think so. I don't think they want to play them at all, right? And we saw that Southampton actually got expelled from the championship final, I think against Hull City, right? A gate scandal. Now, I'm not too well versed on what happened, but I guess somebody went to um, a training session. What's going on, bro? Went to a training session, started recording their training, their tactics, and all that, and now they're not going to be in the championship. What's going on? How you doing, man? Just driving home from work. I did this thing on Saturday where I was just, doing a live stream on the way home. I don't mind doing it. Um, I'm a pretty good driver. I know where to go, know how to drive. But Chelsea in 2-1, Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos, the goal scorers for Chelsea. Richarlison's, do I like the NFL? Yeah, I do. I'm a 49ers fan. But like world football soccer is my first love. Um the Richarlison scores for Spurs. In my opinion, Chelsea barely survived this shit, bro. Right? Um, it's great to know that Tottenham will be facing relegation next weekend. Chelsea have a chance to get into the Europa League. You know, there's an argument saying that we shouldn't even qualify for Europe. Period. We should just go down to one game a week because I don't think any Chelsea fan wants to sit here. Baseball's a great sport. It is at times, yeah. I'm a Giants fan. Um, I don't think any Chelsea fan really wants to play on Thursday nights. I mean, we went through that last season, but every time we play on a Thursday night, we end up winning that competition. So I mean, it's not the end of the world, really, but realistically, this team should be in a Champions League year in, year out, at a bare minimum. This season, they don't deserve it whatsoever. But um, yeah, I mean, Chelsea finally get 3 points. My favorite player is on the Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. He's a nice player, bro. Are the Royals on top of the AL Central right now? I'm my favorite player in baseball right now. Jesus. Um, I probably because I'm a Giants fan, I'd probably say Willie Adames. But outside of that, I mean, outside of the Giants, I'd probably say Ronald Acuna Jr. or what's his name on the not on the Yankees, um, on the Mets. I like Juan Soto, honestly, personally. Like, admittedly, I haven't really been watching a lot of baseball because the Giants have been dog shit. Like, they've been dog shit for the better part now of a decade. I mean, the year they won 107 games, they lost to the Dodgers in 5 games on some controversy, really. But the Giants have been for a while, bro. I mean, it's not great being a Giants fan, really. You don't really expect anything out of them. I mean, you got what's his name as the president of operations? Buster Posey, is that? Can I show you my Shohei? Can I show Shohei Ohtani's one of my favorite other players? Yeah, I mean, Ohtani's a great player. It's just unfortunate he's on the Dodgers, and I hate the Dodgers. Even though I'm wearing blue, but I'm wearing Chelsea blue. It's completely different than bye. Okay, we'll see you later. I mean, not the biggest fan of Ohtani, but I mean, he's a great player. But anyway, getting back to Chelsea and Arsenal winning the Premier League, I was just saying this about Arsenal, man. I mean, when you have the right recruitment and now it's looking like Mikel Arteta is the right guy for the job, you're gonna probably end up you'll see them competing for the Premier League next season, no doubt, but I don't think they win it next season. I do think like Man City will be there. I think Manchester United will be competing for it, but they won't win it. Chelsea won't be as bad next season, in my opinion. Liverpool will be about the same as next season, but I don't see them being, I see them competing for the top four, but I just don't see them like as long as Arne Slot is the manager at Liverpool, bro. I just don't see how they win another Premier League title. That's just me, right? Like I just don't I just don't see it. From a Chelsea perspective, man, I mean, what does it mean for Arsenal to win the Premier League? It shows how far off we are, honestly. Like, it really, really does show how far off we are from winning any kind of silverware of that caliber. You have to have the right recruitment, man. Otherwise, you're not gonna win anything. You're not even gonna come close. What's going on? How you doing? Um, you're just not gonna win anything. I mean, Arsenal caught some lucky breaks this season. Even Arsenal will have to admit that there were some type of for there were four calls for them. If you look at the game last against West Ham, they got fortunate to get 3 points there. I mean, yes, David Raya got fouled, but again, you look at this as a lucky break that gets you on the verge of winning a title. Now, Arsenal also have a chance now to win the Champions League. Do I think they're going to beat PSG? I don't think so. But Dembele did pull up, I think, this past weekend with an injury, but I think he'll be ready to go by the Champions League final, bro. I don't see a world where he misses that at all. Really. I mean, now all Arsenal have to really focus on is if they can rest their best 11 away to Crystal Palace, and now they'll be able to essentially have their best team available to play against PSG. I probably shouldn't have switched lanes here. Yeah, so recently I've been doing these drive home like live streams and stuff, and it's been nice as long as I'm paying attention to the road, which I am. Out here in California, you got a lot of stupid ass drivers, particularly in the Bay Area where they're a bit more aggressive. If you go down south to LA, it's just ridiculous. I was down there about what 9, 10 days ago for my daughter's trip and stuff like that, and it was great. Spent time with my girlfriend, spent time with my daughter, spent time with their uncles and their girls and all that. And it's always important to spend time with family as much as you can and spend time with your loved ones. And I just encourage that for a lot of people that are just like, if they're feeling alone. I had a person come into my live stream about a few hours ago talking about how he was alone and all that. And it's like, I had to tell him, it's like, as long as you have bro, come on, man. See, if I'm able to flip my camera around, I can show you the stupidity in a lot of these drivers out here. This guy can't even like turn right or turn left at a light, bro. It's crazy. But as I was saying, it's always important to spend time with your loved ones. If you're feeling down, you're feeling alone. Um, you know, I'm trying to create a community out here where you can come into this live stream, come into the chat, and if you're ever feeling down, you're ever feeling out of it, you can always come in here, ask me questions to get your day going a bit better. I'll answer anything people ask me, really, just as long as it's not anything to do with like politics, religion. Don't be sexist, don't be racist, don't be homophobic. Like that's all that I'm really asking for. You know, got a friend of mine that's an Arsenal fan who is texting me right now, probably trying to talk shit about Arsenal, which I'm not really here to hear that right now. I don't really want to hear it, but congratulations. It's like I said earlier, bro. Congratulations to Arsenal because you can't trade years, bro, and then not winning, coming up second every single year. Like you can't continue to do that and then keep your manager. That's just my opinion, right? I mean, Chelsea, on the other hand, bro, I mean, they hired a manager in Xabi Alonso. Will probably see what he has in mind when it comes to players that want to come in, players that he's thinking about selling. Um, I already have a few people in mind that I would want to see leave. And with the way that Enzo Fernandez played today, bro, I mean, you gotta give him the contract that he's looking for, the one that he deserves. I mean, if you're giving players like Palmer an extension, you're giving players like Caicedo an extension, even though Caicedo has been deserving of a contract extension. Enzo Fernandez should be at the top of that list. Levi Colwell is now scheduling his um contract talks, so probably after the World Cup, which is a little concerning because you don't know if he's feeling the new manager, if he's not trusting the ownership. I did see a post on Instagram of fans heckling Iqbali after the game. You should do that, but as long as you're not being violent towards the man, right? Like you don't want to hurt the man, but you just want to make sure that your message is clear about how you're feeling, about how the fan base is feeling. And then you got Not a Project CFC canceling the fucking protest today. It's like this is why nobody took this protest seriously. This is why I even asked a few like last week, why are we scheduling a protest on the cup final Saturday? Like I don't understand that. I never understood it really. And I'm for Blue Coat getting the hell out of here, bro, because their business practices, private equity doesn't belong in the sport, realistically, right? But you're looking at ownership that is trying to save face by hiring a manager that everyone wants. And then they go on the X, they go on to Twitter and say, "Oh yeah, well, there's always a glimmer of hope when you hire a new manager." So you had a glimmer of hope when Liam Rossini was here too, guys? It just sounds ass backwards, really. Like, where were the protests earlier in the season when Enzo Maresca was there? Where were the protests when Pochettino was there, bro? Where were these protests then? They weren't there. Why? Because towards the end of Pochettino's reign, and then for majority of Enzo Maresca's reign, Chelsea were winning, right? So you didn't hear the fans go as crazy as they're going now, saying "Blue co out, Blue co out." That's what I'm saying. The people that organized this protest were flip flopping more often than the people that are saying "Blue co out," bro. And it's like I spoke on this a little bit earlier, bro. And like I respect the guy, I respect what he's trying to do, but Johnny Minerals, bro, to say that Blue Co is the reason why Arsenal won the Premier League, you have it ass backwards, brother. Arsenal were competing for a Premier League title. I mean, yes, for as long as Blue Co has been there, but Chelsea at the same time were nowhere near that. You had teams like Man City and Liverpool competing for the Premier League title, bro. You should be putting the blame on Man City for dropping points, honestly, bro. Chelsea were nowhere near that. I had them finishing second in the Premier League this season based off how they finished last season in the summer they had, right? In the Club World Cup. And that's when you push on and go get the players that you do need. That didn't happen. So you started seeing the results of this team falling further and further and further down the table, right? I hope with Alonso, bro, I'm hoping, like I'm optimistic about the guy because you don't go undefeated in the same league as Bayern Munich and then call this guy a scrub. I don't believe he's a scrub. I don't even think he's overrated. I think that Chelsea is the right situation for him in terms of the club size for one, and two, Real Madrid was not the right move for him at that time. It just wasn't. The egos are too big. The players there care about themselves more than the club, in my opinion. And this is why you saw the fans get on their back more often because the performances dipped and they just weren't good enough. Hansi Flick has been there for 2 seasons and has absolutely destroyed Real Madrid every single time. Yes, they won back in October at the Bernabeu, sure. But at the same time, Hansi Flick has made Real Madrid second guess themselves. He has. And I hate Barcelona, bro, but I'm just speaking the truth. Barcelona have put the blueprint on what you need to do to win that league. I mean, yes, their back line is atrocious in my opinion, but when you have players like Lewandowski, who's leaving at the end of the season, Marcus Rashford, who I think is going to stay at Barcelona because he deserves to stay there now. I wouldn't go back to Manchester United. Even if they are in the Champions League. Like I wouldn't do it, right? I wouldn't go back. Lamine Yamal, arguably the best winger in the world right now, right? Even though I have some reservations about the kid because I still think he has a little bit more to prove in himself. Go win the Champions League, man. I want to like. I, I don't want to say. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that Barcelona is going to win the Champions League, right? But he needs to win the Champions League. He's won the Euros. He needs to win the World Cup, in my opinion, as well. But he's won the Spanish title now 2 straight years, won the Euros. I mean, but the kid is exceptional. I just want to see him do a little bit more, even though he is extremely talented, bro. We have a wonder kid in our own in Estebao, where Estebao, realistically, if he can just go get that hamstring surgery, I think he can be ready for the start of next season. It's unfortunate he's not going to be in the World Cup squad uh for Brazil, but honestly, man, it's like I'm looking at it from a long-term perspective for him and João Pedro, who wrongfully got snubbed of a spot on the Brazilian national team, bro, at the World Cup. You're bringing players like Neymar in there that's 34 years old, bro. I don't know about that choice. And then you're hearing stuff about how he had an issue at the Brazilian camp, and that's the reason why he's not in the squad. I find that to be bogus, bro. I find that to be bogus, man. Honestly, you're seeing Neymar essentially cry his way into that squad, man. It's ridiculous, dude. I think João Pedro got absolutely snubbed, and you're seeing all his former clubs come out saying he's a brilliant player to see. He's the player of the season for Chelsea. It was announced earlier. João Pedro is a player of the season. Some people would probably say Enzo Fernandez. I'm not upset with João Pedro getting it because João Pedro was our leading goal scorer this season. He was the leading man. I've been saying this for a while. The man is a smooth operator, bro. One of the smoothest footballers in the world for a reason. And the fact that he's not in the Brazilian setup and you have players like Gabriel Martinelli, you have Endrick in there, Luis Enrique. I mean, have a day off, bro. Matthias Cunha, and he's not the reason why Man United are in the Champions League, bro. That happens to be Bruno Fernandes and Michael Carrick. That has nothing to do with Matthias Cunha. He's been average, bro. Honestly, he really has been. So, what does it mean now that Arsenal win the Premier League, right? It's like the third part of my title on here. The rest of the Premier League needs to catch up. That includes Man City, which I think Man City will be a lot better because next season, even though Pep's not going to be there next season, I do think Enzo Maresca will. You're going to see essentially a different style of play, but it's going to be similar to Pep, but it's going to be the exact same way that Chelsea played over an 8 season and a half, right? The Premier League knows Enzo Maresca. The Premier League knows how he likes to set up. So Man City will have it a little bit more difficult next season, but I do think that they will be good next season. I really, really do. Chelsea won't be, in my opinion, I don't think Chelsea will be as bad next season as they were this season. The league table suggests that eighth is right around where they will be next season. I think they'll be challenging in the top four, bro. I don't think they'll be as bad, man. Yeah, man, lady, can you be patient? Yeah, I just don't think they'll be as bad, man. Like, I do think players are going to leave. I do think new players will be coming in. Um, but it's just a matter of recruiting smartly. I think it was last night I played a clip of my old podcast and I was talking about how the recruitment of this ownership just has not been good really over the past few seasons, even before Blueco came in. The recruitment that this club has had even before Blueco came in just wasn't good, bro. It just was not good. You had an overinflated squad. You were overpaying players. You paid players like Mason Mount over 200 grand a week when at the time he just wasn't it wasn't justified for him to even get that kind of money because his form fell off. Christian Pulisic's form fell off. ZX form fell off, right? Then you're spending money on Lukaku a season prior, and it's 100 million wasted. Your Chelsea are clueless, oversized, overpaid squad that are not good enough. I mean, right now, yeah, I agree with that. They're overpriced and they're oversized. There's too many players on loan. There's too many players that just should not be there. And I think Alonso really has a lot to work on this summer. It may take more than one transfer window. It may take his entire tenure, realistically, right? But if somehow, some way they get this transfer window right, which we don't have any reason to believe that this transfer window is going to go right. I'm hoping that they sell the players that shouldn't be there, bro. Like I really, really do. Get your Liam Delap's out of there. Get your Garnachos out of there. Get your Mark Cucure's out of there. Get your Malagusto out of there, bro. You need to get these players out, right? You need to get, in my opinion, unfortunately, Jamie Gittins has to go too. Even though he's been injured for half the season, he hasn't been good enough when he's been on the pitch. He reminds me too much of a Raheem Sterling, bro. Too hesitant, indecisive, overthinks. Not dynamic enough. Can't dribble past a player, and when he does dribble past a player, it's so basic. It's like watching Raheem Sterling all over again, bro. Garnacho, in my opinion, man, What a waste of 40 million, bro. Right? What a waste of 40 million that was. Like my expectations for them next season, if and it's a big if, right? It's a big if. If they sign the right players, they should be in and around those Champions League spots. There's no shot Chelsea are winning the Premier League next season. It's just not happening, bro. As much as I want to see it, and as much as Chelsea fans are clamoring for a Premier League title, I'm pretty sure if you were to ask Chelsea fans, right, which trophy they would want, a Champions League or a Premier League, 100% of them will. It comes from the Todd. That owner Todd is going to screw Chelsea. I don't think it's as much as Todd Bowley anymore. I think it's Igbali, bro. It has to be him. You did see Todd Bowley at the game today, and he looks like he just doesn't understand what he's seeing on the pitch, really. Like you don't really hear a lot from Todd Bowley anymore. You hear more from Igbali. And bro, did you see the statement they put out today? It's just more gaslighting of the fucking fan base, man. And then you have, I spoke on this earlier. Then you have the protest canceled because there's a glimmer of hope that the ownership is going to sit here, or there's a glimmer of hope the new manager that will bring the fan base. I'm only optimistic about the manager. I'm not optimistic about this ownership because they've done nothing to show us in 4 years that they care about the fans and the on-field performances, bro. They have not. Like they really, really haven't. And it's sad to say that because you would think billionaires would just pump money into this team and actually go buy the players and listen to the manager and what players they want. I heard something from Eunice too about how like there's a possibility that Todd Bowley got foreclosed or whatever. It's like it's a possibility, sure, but again, he was the acting sporting director when they first came into the club, but he spent wrong, and this is why Chelsea are in the situation that they're in. They could not get rid of Raheem Sterling, Lukaku, Ben Chilwell for the longest time. Why? Because they overpaid them. Nobody was going to take them on those crazy ass wages, bro. Like you're paying Raheem Sterling 325 grand a week, bro. And then now I think he's in Holland right now, and he looks a mess. He looks terrible, bro. And like, I've never rated Sterling at all. It was a shame that we bought him back in 2022 in to begin with. It was a damn shame that we bought him because Thomas Tuchel wanted him as an experienced player. But again, when he was at Man City, he had one good season. But if you take a look at a lot of the goals he scored at Man City in that season, a lot of them were tap ins, a lot of them were deflections of the players, bro. Like, he was never cutting out to be that talismanic player that Chelsea have been starving for since Eden Hazard left. You would have thought it would have been Cole Palmer, but Cole Palmer this season has been absolute dog shit, bro. Absolute dog shit. And that's my favorite player on the team. I don't like talking about this brother like that. But it's just realistic that he doesn't deserve to go to the World Cup for one. And two, even in the game today, yes, he helped out with the two goals that Chelsea scored today, but his general play, man, has just been piss poor. And it's that's not what you expect from a guy in his first season. Glazers have killed United too. Yeah, bro. The Glazers killed Man United, and Jim Ratcliffe has to figure out a way to fix all that, but he's not making himself look too good either. The only reason why Man United are doing well right now is because of Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick got the team to play, and the board level and the off the field issues the ownership has to figure out. But now that they're in the Champions League, they may have a shot of actually recruiting the right players. The fact that they were able to get players like Cunha in it and Flemo in there with no European football at all. Yes, Ruben Amorim was a manager at that time, but could you imagine the wages they paid these players? Right? Like, could you imagine that? Now they're in the Champions League. They're going to be able to go get established players to help out Bruno Fernandes, who will be the player of the season also. Right? Bruno Fernandes is the reason why Manchester United are sitting third in the Premier League right now. He is absolutely the reason. And Michael Carrick also, The fact that he stepped in after Ruben Amorim got sacked, rightfully so, because these players did not enjoy the system. That 3-4-3 system, in my opinion, does not work in the Premier League. It just doesn't. If you don't have the right wingbacks and you don't have the right wide players there, you're not going to be able to run that system. And if you don't have two solid midfielders in that setup, because Bruno Fernandez, bro, he's not a guy that you just stick right in the middle of that midfield. You want him to play a bit more advanced, right? That's why he has the 20 assists, the 21 assists. I think he's already broken the Chelsea won the league with 3-4-3. Well, yeah, they did with Antonio Conte, right? But I think in this generation, in this era of it, I don't think you can do that now. It's just how I see it. I mean, I want to hear your reasonings on why you think a team with a 3-4-3 formation could actually do it. Antonio Conte did it, but Antonio Conte had solid midfielders and he had great wingbacks at his disposal. Right? Job is because of Paul have only performed marginally. Yeah, I bro, I was saying that Matthias Cunha has been average this season, and Endrick has only started picking it up once he got that loan move away. It is politics, bro, and it's ridiculous that. Hey, Morrison, I remember you. Yeah, because the wake. So I'll get to your squidgy. I'll get to your thing in a second. What's up, Morrison? I'm glad you came back into the stream. I enjoyed that conversation I had with you yesterday. But the Matthias Cunha and Endrick, the Matthias Cunha, you can make an argument for should be there. Gabriel Martinelli should not be in there, right? But the way that a 3-4-3 system is played, you gotta have good wingbacks, bro. You have to have good wingbacks. That's why Antonio Conte won the league in his first season. We're by far the greatest team. Arsenal. I mean, hey, bro, I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm gonna tell you this. Congratulations, bro. You guys actually got it done this time. You didn't bottle it. You guys got the results you needed. I don't think you guys are the greatest team the world has ever seen, but I mean, you guys were great this season, realistically. In order to win a Premier League, bro, you need some luck to go your way. That's what I'll say. But honestly, man, congratulations. You guys got the job done. Mikel Arteta finally got the promise that he promised these Arsenal fans, man. And you guys should be celebrating. You guys should also be celebrating the fact that we beat Tottenham and Tottenham can go down next weekend. Like that's where you should do it. But the 3-4-3 system, I'm gonna get back to that. Chelsea were great in that system. N'Golo Conte, you had Cesc Fabregas in there too. You had Matic in there as well. Do you need points in difference? Yeah, I do, bro. I think it's 30 points. I've been saying that. When you're 30 points off the top of the table, bro, Chelsea are nowhere near that, bro. Who gives a fuck about Tottenham? I don't give a fuck about Tottenham either, bro. Like, we both don't care about Tottenham, bro. Like, I'm watching that game at work and I'm sitting here, you know, admittedly, I was getting fucking nervous because Chelsea have been shit at home all season. But Tottenham never come to the bridge and ever beat us. So that was the only thing I was hanging my hat on is that Tottenham doesn't care. I mean, Tottenham doesn't win at the bridge, right? But look, bro, if they're gonna lose to Everton next week, and West Ham will be Leeds at the London Stadium, and then we will have a reason to celebrate. You guys will have another reason to celebrate. Wish Chelsea opts for a 4-3-3 in the future with Alonso, gives Caicedo a champion, and ends up. Yeah, look, I think Moises Caicedo as a number 8 is a good shout, bro. I really, really do. Because I think him playing as a defensive midfielder, bro, he does have a risk of more injury by being that in a sense because he has to be able to destroy passages of play which could put your body at risk. Enzo will leave this season. Uh, maybe. I think there's supposed to be a conversation between him and Alonso, and we'll see, bro. I mean, I think there's a 60-40 chance he stays. I think that there's still an outside shot that he leaves only because if the ambition of the club doesn't match what he's looking for, he will. I don't think he's going to Arsenal though. I think it's Real Madrid and an outside chance of Manchester City. But I think Real Madrid would be the number one option for Enzo right now. But Moises Caicedo as a number 8 would be good if we can sign another 6. I think that's what we need to be looking at in the transfer window if we can sell some players on. But all these players can only come into the club if we sell players. And if you want to just get the big or most money possible, you gotta sell Enzo. We need an 8. Enzo's on our transfer list. I mean, I'll say this: if he makes the switch to Arsenal, bro, that would honestly all the hate for him would honestly be justified at that point. I would feel some type of way because he's one of my favorite players at the club, and I think he's our most important player. If our most important player goes to a crosstown rival, yeah, bro, nobody going to Man City without Pep at the wheel. I mean, they have the transfer funds to do it, right? So I mean, anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. I think Man City is an outside shot of him going to it. But I think Real Madrid would be the move that Enzo pushes for the absolute most. I don't think he would look at Arsenal, honestly, out of respect for the club he's at now. But again, we've seen players go from Chelsea to Arsenal all the time, bro. You never see that Chelsea to Spurs transfer, though. You never see that because Spurs are shit, bro. Spurs are shit, man. They get battered everywhere they go. We need a technical 6. Barco, Santos, and Caicedo can all play an 8. I agree with that. I th- I think like Moises Caicedo is a great number 6. But I do think he needs to be pushed up the pitch a little bit more, man, because he has a rocket of a right foot. He can pick out a pass. He's dynamic enough, and he can dribble out of tight situations, honestly. And that's what I'm and like that's what I want from my 8s. But I do think we do. I think a number 6 is something we should be looking at. But who would you go for as that number 6 right now? Right? Like who's out there that Chelsea can actually like go after? Right? I don't think Arsenal need too much in the transfer window. I think their team is set realistically. If we win the champs, then we can pull any other player considering the wages. Obviously, it can't be ridiculously wage. I mean, he's looking for a massive pay increase, bro. Right? And Chelsea, realistically, without being in Europe, bro, are not going to be able to do anything like that. So you may be onto something, but I just don't think he would make the switch like that. Rather go to a Real Madrid. Not like so. I want you to hear me out on this, bro. I don't. I don't compare Caicedo and Rice. I compare Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez. I think Declan Rice plays a different position in a sense because Declan Rice can push up the field, and I just don't compare the two because I think they offer two different things to their team. I could be wrong on that. I would like to hear your reasonings on why you want to compare those two players. But you know, we can have a conversation about that. If Enzo goes, we need to ask for Chouameni. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be a bad replacement now. I mean, I wouldn't mind him. I actually pulled his FIFA, his a card in FIFA too. The new one he has. It's like 2.2 million coins, bro. It's crazy. I'll probably be in here for another 10 minutes streaming, seeing what everyone's talking about. I know Arsenal fans are absolutely gassed right now, and you guys should be. You guys should be absolutely gassed right now that you guys have just won the league, man. Caicedo plays 6 and Rice plays at 8 and 3/4. Yeah, I mean, that's why I said I don't compare Declan Rice and Caicedo, even though the media was trying to do that. I don't think they're paying attention to Declan Rice's game as much. Declan Rice pushing up the field and playing as an 8 is an extra bonus. We paid 100 million for Declan Rice when he played 6 at West Ham in England. Rice is a natural 6. So, do you think that he plays as a 6 for England in the World Cup? Because I think for Arsenal he's an 8. I think for England he's your number 6. Like we played over. Arteta has played Rice as a six after the Etihad loss. Yeah, you guys have looked a little bit better with him as the six, but you also have dude, right? Zubimendi. Isn't he a six too? Like I think he's your natural six. Of course, Rice is starting six for England. I mean, yeah, because you guys don't have anybody else who can slot in there realistically. But then who's your two eights? Is it Jude? Rice, even in West Ham, was playing an eight. I think so. Suchek and Declan Rice, I think they both partnered up as a six that both got forward because Suchek would also get those odd goals every once in a while, right? I remember a goal he scored against Chelsea, I think during COVID. But Declan Rice, to me, he's a world class number six, but he can play as an eight. That's how I see him. And like I think Declan Rice is exceptional. Like all the rival fans, like particularly Chelsea fans that do slandered like Rice and stuff. I think it's a little unjustified, bro. I think he's actually very very good. Zuby can play as a six, but Zuby is better as an eight. Zuby comes out of second choice six. So are you guys done with like Martin Odegaard then? Because I don't think he's been good this season, bro. I think Martin Odegaard has been honestly one of your worst players this season. Yeah, Rice had a bit more freedom. Suchek had more defensive responsibility, and he has that now still. But Sloth, I do enjoy your. I do like your comments, bro. I do. You seem to know what you're talking about, and like that's the kind of people I need in the stream, bro. People that actually got ball knowledge, man. Yeah, you want Odegaard out. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you guys. I mean, you got. I don't think you guys need him anymore. I think you guys are well past his time there, and you guys want it in spite of him. Honestly. The years you guys kept finishing runner up, he was great. But this season, he hasn't been good, man. But I do like the engagement, bro. Like I do like the conversations like we're having. Like it's not disrespectful. We're having good football conversations here, bro, about players. Moy's system relied heavily on two CDMs, just like Alonso. Like whether a back five or a back four, Arsenal will sell Havertz and Odegaard. You think they sell Havertz? I mean, Havertz. I mean, Kai Havertz is a weird one, bro. I mean, he has good moments in games, but I just don't think that he's consistent enough, bro. I don't think he's consistent enough. Yes, he scored yesterday. That's cool, but I don't think Kai Havertz is consistent enough to be in this Arsenal team, bro. You guys, I mean, it's very tricky because he's good as a second striker if you play him alongside like a Jokeres, but Arteta's not going to play in a front two, in my opinion. Not if you have Eze there. I mean, you guys spent a good amount of money on Eze anyway, who I think Eze has been average, honestly, this season. I think next season you'll probably see like the best of him because he'll have a full. I mean, he moved to Arsenal after like one at Palace this season. Rice and Suchek, they rotated. Yeah, they did. Yeah, like even when he was at Chelsea and he scored the goal that won us the Champions League 5 years ago. Yeah, like Kai Havertz is a guy that he glides through he glides he just coasts through games. He has moments like even in the Champions League final back in 2021, you could make an argument that Kai Havertz wasn't good in that game, but the moment that he had where Mason Mount plays him through, Timo Werner drags out their center half and Kai Havertz is through on goal. He almost missed that, bro. If Ederson actually gets hand the ball there, we could be having a different conversation about who wins that Champions League that season. And he's on two, bro. That's ridiculous. I don't think he deserves that money. 275 grand a week is nuts, bro. I mean, he's missed a lot of opportunities too this season, man. I mean, I think even the game last week against West Ham, bro. I mean, he missed a golden opportunity, bro, to really put the game away. And he in my opinion, he's not clutch, bro. Yes, he scored that Champions League goal, but man, I mean, come on. That was 5 years ago, bro. If you're gonna keep living on that moment for the rest of your career, you won't have a long career anymore, man. I'll probably go on for about 5 more minutes. Just give me 1 second, guys. In hold up play, but his finishing or killer instinct is what makes him a waste. I want Odegaard, Martinelli. Yeah, I mean, bro, Madueke, bro, Noni Madueke. I'm gonna say this about this brother, dude. What a front runner! Like, he is the biggest front runner of all time, dude. Like, the guy didn't contribute jack shit to your title challenge. And he's in there saying, no time for losers. Bro, you left Chelsea before they won the Club World Cup. We didn't need you. And now you're part of a title winning team and you didn't contribute a damn thing. He's a Premier League champion without contributing anything, bro. Ridiculous. Like, ridiculous, bro. It should. I mean, listen, dude. He bitched his way to you guys because he wanted to go win silverware. Have a day off, bro. How did you pay 55 million? You guys got fleeced. He won the league either way. I mean, bro, that's fine. But again, he's the biggest front runner I've ever seen. I would rather have Werner in my team with him at Leeds. I know he will sacrifice everything for Kai's goes. I mean, yeah, bro. Timo Werner is out here on the San Jose Earthquakes, bro. And I mean, he's injured right now, but he's been banging in the goals over there too. The San Jose Earthquakes are actually playing pretty well, bro. But I'm not really interested in like the MLS as much. But um, do you think Chelsea as a football institute is bigger than Arsenal? I think over the past 20 years, yes, given the silverware we've won. But outside of that, if you're going off the course of history, no. But over the past 20 years, yeah. Kai is clutch. I don't know about that, bro. But I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. But I'm gonna say this, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs, go into my house. I'll be on stream tomorrow, probably around like the same time I usually do streams. You know your ball, sir. Respect. Unlike, I mean, look, bro. I'm American, and Americans do get slander for not knowing their sports or like their football, whatever. But this brother right here has watched this team for over 25 years. I played the sport for over 25 years, bro. I know what I'm talking about. I feel like I do at least. But real Americans don't watch soccer. We're not even gonna pay attention to that comment. Everybody in the chat, this guy Texas Carnage came into my stream about like a month ago, whatever, and was talking all this bullshit about football or soccer, whatever you guys want to call it, right? Saying nobody watches it. I mean, real Americans don't watch it, but I'm not a real American, bro. Like, I don't really give a fuck about any of that, dude, honestly. Like, I really, really don't. Football is my first love, and it'll always be my first love. Not American football, which you have to go through multiple commercial after commercial after commercial to even see about three or four plays, bro. No one's even trying to deal with that, bro. And then if we talk about the Super Bowl, nobody gives a fuck about the Super Bowl realistically. It's not even like the most watched event in the world. That would happen to be the World Cup. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate all the engagement. Texas Carnage, you're an absolute buffoon. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. See ya.